Just see the video by Grant Cardone talk about the rules of money, and uh, I was searching more content about the 10 rules of money and found debtfreedoctor.com talking about the Grant Cardone real estate. Uh, 9 money rules, actually 10. And I will share with share this topic. Number one, never spend it until you get it. The money rules number one, never spend it until you get it. This is a great advice that I agree. Never count money until it's in your hands. Once it in your once it's in your account, then you can spend it. You can also think about this regarding debt, especially consumer debt. Remember, never spend tomorrow's money. This is the rule number one. Never spend it until you got it. And number two, the 40% rules. The 40% rule, like when you have the income that means 100%. The 100% that 40% of it, you have to pay the IRS, the taxes, and the next 40% you invest. You invest in your assets, your business, the thing that can uh, produce you more money, and last 20% you just live on it, on just only 20%. When you receive when you have the income, you won't use all of it. You won't calculate just uh, for example 80% of it to buy a new thing, buy a new car, buy a new house. No, you won't do that. And on this website, I like this rule, but for most of us that are already established in our job practices, it may be too difficult. He explained it like this: you take 100% of money and automatically knock off 40%. Why? Well, the IRS is going to their hands on it before you do. Okay, if you are high income earners, I guarantee you that you are paying at least 40% to Uncle Sam annually. Uncle Sam. Cardon teach that if we pay IRS 40%, then you should at least pay yourself 40% too, right? Uh, think about it. We've all figured out how to pay them. Heck, you see how much they trust us as they take their part out of our checks before we even get them in our hands. I get it. Jesus told us to pay Caesar what belongs to Caesar. So we do this, but this is where it becomes difficult for most of us. Cardon then teach to live on 20% leftover. So if you make 100,000 a year, you pay 40,000 to IRS and 40,000 go to grow yourself or business, can be advertising, marketing, conferences, and so on. And then you live on the remaining 20% or $20,000 in this example. He recommended you live on 20% and don't change your standard of living until the 20% changes. You got to be disciplined with money. If you cheat on the money, it will cheat on you. You ignore your money, it will ignore you. If you don't take care of it, it won't take care of you. Okay? Now you may ask yourself, what can you do if you can't live on 20%? I think most of us are probably asking that question. He suggests that you either lower your standard of living or control your standard of living, or increase that 100% coming in. Okay, this is the number two, 40% rule. And the money rules number three is if you can't write it off, if you can't write it off, don't pay it, don't buy it. If you can't write it off, don't buy it. I also like this rule as I always looking for ways to write off item I need, but also use it in the practice. This especially rings true for travel. I rarely travel anywhere if it's not business related. For example, if we want to take the kids to Disneyland, I'm going to find a conference that I can attend while there to be able to write off. If you can't write it off, don't buy it. Number four, rent and lease, don't own. Rent and release, don't own. This against our belief, our Thai belief, obviously. This is where Mr. Cardon and I mean the DevFreeDoctor.com, depart on our thinking. I am Dave Ramsey, fan, and he teach that we should pay cash for stuff to own it, and Cardon is the opposite, rent or lease. He's thinking if that people don't need to own any of this stuff, only just use it. He's thinking if people don't need to own any of this stuff, only just use it, don't own it. Number five, stabilize and grow your first flow before adding a second flow. Stabilize and grow your first flow before adding a second one. Okay, for most of us, myself included, our main flow is our main jobs. For me, I am peri periodontist. Cardon suggests that we get good at continue to grow our first flow before adding a second one. This is also known as investing in yourself. The more money you can make at our day jobs, the more we will be able to invest in the future. Okay. The rule number six, the 47 rule. 47 rule. The 47 rule means this: if you spend 40 hours a week working for somebody else, working for somebody, then spend at least 10 hours working on yourself. This boils down to only about an hour a day. One of the best ways to do this is what author millionaires do: reads. Warren Buffett talks about reading 3 and 4 hours a day. Every super successful person that built $1 billion businesses are reading, and they got smart people around them. And if you don't like reading, then you better learn to like it if you want to continue to learn and grow yourself. The 47 rule. Okay. Number seven, stay broke. Stay broke. Always stay broke. This was one of my favorite rule. Favorite rule. Cardon teach stay broke. What he means is not hoard cash by keeping it stock pile in a saving or checking account. This is something that I had to relearn as I used it to always keep piles of cash in money market account. Now I'm not talking about not having cash saved for an emergency. We all should have an emergency fund for 3 to 6 months, I'd like 12, of living expense. Again, it's your choice. He states that cash is garbage. Cash is garbage, and we shouldn't make it a practice to have a bunch of it in low interest accounts, saving accounts, paying the next to nothing. Money is worthless until is put to work. It's useless until it's used. We are thought we are we are taught early on that cash is scarce and we have to hold it and protect it. Take the word currency. If you look at the word, it comes from current and guess what the current does. A current flows. It has to be in circulation. 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 It's plentiful. It's pieces of paper. It only valuable when we take it out of our pocket, get it out of the system and put it to work. It has when you think a bank is going to do if we deposit money in it, they are going to convert it instantly into digits and then send it out to make more money. They are not going to keep it lying around in the vault. They know they have to get it out in order to expand. Number 8, never lost money. This rule, like Warren Buffett said, never lost money. This rule was something I first heard from Warren Buffett. Cardon ties this rule in Cardon ties this rule in with the previous rule in that if you have cash sitting around, then yes, you are losing money. Speaking of losing money, a friend of mine is a local plumber. He said that his workers were in the attic of the old lady's house changing out a hot water tank. When they removed it from the wall, a bang bag dropped down hanging from a rope. The bag had a significant amount of cash in that they had been hoarding for years. Unfortunately, too many of us thought that investing money in the stock market or real estate isn't safe. Instead, we should keep it under our mattress or put it in a saving account where it's insecure. What's a saving account paying this day? 1 by 8 or 1%? How do you expect to capitalize on compound interest? With those numbers, you can compound a fraction of the 1% and expect anything to happen. Cash flow is what you want. You don't want to cash, you want cash to flow. And number 9, never quit until you achieve your goals. Never quit until you achieve your goals. Your financial goals. It is. Do you have what it takes to become a millionaire with the B? You probably thinking, no way, it will never have that much money. Too many of us grow up being told things like a penny saved is a penny earned or save for the rainy day. I heard these phrases and you probably did too. Unfortunately, many of us continue to pass this on our kids even though we live in a country that rich yet the people have scarcity in their minds. This all of the 9 money rules Grant Cardone on the debtfreedoctor.com, but actually this rule is 10 10 money rules, and the last thing, the final thing is you want cash flow, not cash. When you make money, it is cash flow, right? And you might not need to save it uh, for being secure, but you need to invest on it. You need to use it as a worker to re cash back to you, to re produce the income back to you. And this is all 10 rules, 10 money rules from Grant Cardone. I will recap again. Number one is never spend it until you get it. Number two, the 40% rule. Number three, if you can't write it off, don't buy it. Number four, rent and lease, don't own. Number five, stabilize and grow your first floor before adding a second one. Number six, the 47 rule. Number seven, always stay broke. Number eight, never lose money. Number nine, you want cash flow, not cash. And number 10, never quit until you achieve your goals. Thank you so much for today.